Welcome to Gear Gab. My name's Aridonis, and today we're talking about the SPD-SX some more. Last time we got our wave file into the SPD-SX, and now what are we doing with it, Myles?
Well, today, Aridonis, we are going to, because basically what we did, we uploaded a track, right? We uploaded a track to here. So what I want to show y'all is how to run a backing track on the SPD-SX in conjunction with the click track.
Ooh, so you can play in time with the band.
Exactly.
Playing in time, that's what we like.
Yes, that's one of the main things I use this for, is to make sure I'm on time.
Yeah.
I mean, the drummer's the heartbeat of the band.
Right.
So,
And the SPD-SX is the brain.
oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So, what does this look like? What does it look like to have click tracks and backing tracks?
Yeah, what do you do? How do you set it up?
How do you set it up? Well, let me tell you. So first thing, before off screen, what we did is I uploaded the click track to pad 1 and I uploaded the backing track to pad 2. Now the reason that we don't use, or at least the reason I don't use the built-in click, is because it's really difficult
To get it to start. Yeah.
That too, to start it and to sync it to the backing track you already have.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a lot easier to have the click, your own click, loaded to a pad.
And you can do like a little, because you're the only one that's hearing it on stage, ideally. You got some headphones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on how you do it. So
Yeah.
originally, when we first started doing this, I was the only one who had click in. But actually, how you can do this, and I'll show you in this video, is you can actually route the click to go to out a different channel, and you can run it to the rest of your band if you want. So that's what we do now. So we have it so that the click runs to the rest of the band, and it's super useful. So it makes for a nice tight sound for a live show. So
Sweet. What's so you got them loaded onto pad 1 and pad 2.
Yep.
That's step 1. What's step 2?
So step 2, we're gonna go to our screen here. We got our W5 kit. If you don't understand, you have to watch our last video.
Yeah, inside jokes, y'all.
Yeah. So we're gonna go in here. You're gonna go to menu. We're gonna go to the kit right here. Okay. So we're gonna go to kit, and like Aridonis said, they're loaded on pads 1 and 2. So we're gonna use the Padlink function, right? Okay. So here it says off. What we want to do is link pad 1 to pad 2. And yeah, right. So what this does is when you hit one pad, it plays both simultaneously.
Whoa, as though you were hitting it with two sticks at the exact same time.
That's exactly what it is.
That's impossible to do normally.
I know.
Could you imagine if you had just hit them both at the exact same time?
But I'm glad you brought that up, because if you did it that way, the click and the track
would be out of time.
You would flam,
because you're a human being.
Exactly.
Yeah, human beings they suck at that stuff.
Exactly. So there's a chance of the click being off or the backing track being off. So you want them to be perfectly synced, because when you import them, ideally, if whoever imported them or prepared the tracks, they exported them properly.
Yeah.
Right? So they exported the proper tempo and the
at the
track.
same length. Yeah.
Exactly. Same length, and it matches that click. So that's the first step. So once that's done, we have already linked the pads. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to, this is where it gets, this
is where it gets audio engineering-y.
A little audio engineering, but not too bad, right? So I'm going to take a stick here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this pad here. I'm going to hit this. So we have a click.
That sounds fantastic.
Right?
Wow.
So we have the click.
That's the tempo of the song?
And we have the track playing along with it, right?
Nice.
So, but now what we want to do, so I'm going to turn that off for a sec, just so you can hear. So we have the track, we have the click, it's both on time.
But we only got one cable coming out of SPD-SX.
We do only have one cable.
So they're coming out on that same cable.
It is coming out on the same cable.
We got to split them.
We do have to split them.
Nice.
But before we split them,
there's a part 2.5.
We want to make sure the dynamics are off on the pad.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure that the track and the click is playing at their full volume.
All the time. Because you're a human being. You don't hit it the same velocity all the time.
Exactly.
People are always hitting stuff at different velocities.
Exactly. Especially if you're a drummer. You're supposed to. Dynamics, right? So for these two pads, we want to turn the dynamics off. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just go back here. So you're going to go to the pad section here on your menu. You're going to press enter. You're going to go to mode, and you're going to go down, and you're going to turn the dynamics off. Okay, and then we're going to do the same for pad 2. Okay, so then we're going to turn those dynamics off. And also, what we're going to do now is we have to change the trigger type as well, so that when you hit it and then hit it again, it turns it off. Because what if someone's not ready, or someone like in the band or something? Because I mean, you can just use the all sound off as a.
That's a tiny button. The all sound off button is tiny, and if you're in a dark room, like a venue where it's weirdly dark but also too bright at the same time, you'll never find that button.
It's true. So there's a chance for error there, right?
Yeah.
So in the same screen, the same menu where you just turned your dynamics off, you're going to go to the trigger type, and you're going to change it to Alt. Okay? Actually, sorry. Before you do that, you're going to change this to phrase. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. You're changing the template to phrase, and then in turn, that changes the trigger type to Alt.
Cool.
So we're going to do that for pad 2, and then also do the same for pad 1. So now, when we hit it,
gone.
It turns them all off. So if I hadn't done that, it would just repeat them, and they would be playing on top of each other, the whole time. And so you
That's no bueno.
You would get an echo and choir of clicks and backing tracks, and it would not be good. So the reason I like to have it like this is like, okay, wait, I need to tune. And then you're like, okay, that's fine. What some people will do is that tuners, guitar players, what are you going to do? Bass players.
Useless.
What you can do, and I see some people do this, is they will hook up an external trigger, and they will like use a foot switch to trigger these. But I kind of like doing this. People in the crowd are like, "Oh, what does he do? He's hitting the thing."
He hit the thing, and then exactly 4 bars later, they started the song.
Yeah, exactly.
There must be something to that.
Exactly. So it's just how I've done it, and it works really well for me. So what Aridonis was saying earlier rather, we have one cable coming out of the back here, right? So depending on how you play as a band, the click is either going to go to just you as the drummer, or it's going to go to the band as a whole. So if you want it to just go to you as the drummer, you have to reroute a certain thing, right? So how do we do that? We're going to go back to our interface here, our menu. We're going to go to the kit. We're going to go to output here. Okay, and remember, our click is on pad 1. So
what's our options for outputs? We got a few, because we got the master out, we got a sub out, we got a headphone out. Dang.
So I'm glad you brought those up.
Yeah.
Because depending on how you're running the click, it's going to vary, right? Ooh. So if only you need to hear the click as a drummer or whatever you're playing and using this for, you're going to only want to do the phones out. And that means the click will only come out of the headphone jack at the back here. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but out of the back right there. So in order to do that, we're going to go back to our menu here. We're going to change the master out to phones only.
Yeah.
So now the click is only going to come out of the phones jack. So now you're only going to hear the click, and it's not going to go to the front of house, because we don't want it.
And it's not going to go to the rest of your band.
Exactly. It's not going to go to the rest of your band.
It's just going to go to your headphone jack.
Exactly.
Unless you're sending your headphone jack to the rest of your band somehow, but that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah. So you could do that. That's a whole
how does the whole band share one set of headphones?
Yeah.
That's
madness.
That's madness. There's only two ears. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So alternatively, so that's how you run the click if you want it to only hear it yourself. So what do you do if you want to run it out to the band? So this is only part of the puzzle. We can't really get into the nitty-gritty aspects of it because we don't have all the equipment to do so right now. But how would you do that? So this is how I do it, at least with my band Royal Oak. So we're going to go back to our screen here. We're still on the under the kit and under output. So instead of phones only, what you can do is you can run it to the sub out.
Whoa.
Yes. So this is a different feed that I don't even know how I'd say this properly.
It's sort of like an auxiliary output that you can use for other stuff that you don't necessarily need the audience to hear.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing like a 4.1 surround sound type situation, something like that.
Yes. Exactly. So with that being said, so in my case, when I play with my band Royal Oak, what we do is we run the sub out to our in-ear rig. So basically what happens is that cable runs to our in-ear rig, and then that way the band hears the click, but it doesn't go out to front of house because it's only the sub out. If we look at this pad, it says master out, which is what we want because that's the track. We want the track going out to the audience. And that's how you do it.
That's pretty easy.
It's not
honestly,
bad, eh?
you know, the menus aren't too bad on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well that's great. Now you can hear a track. Your audience doesn't hear a click track, because they don't want to hear that. That's a horrible noise that only musicians should be subjected to.
True.
Nobody else should hear that.
True.
And so having the ability to do that is important. So yeah, that's basically how we do that. We're going to do another couple videos on the SPD-SX. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions or anything like that, you know, throw them down in the comments, and then give it a like and a subscribe and hit a bell. Helps us out. Thanks. Keep on gear gabbing.
Bye.